The Battle of Hastings, fought on October 14, 1066, is one of the most famous and pivotal battles in English history. It marked the beginning of Norman rule in England and had profound consequences for the future of the British Isles. The battle was fought between the Norman-French army of Duke William II of Normandy, later known as William the Conqueror, and the English army led by King Harold II. The conflict arose after the death of King Edward the Confessor, who died without an heir, leading to a succession crisis that culminated in this decisive battle. Edward the Confessor's death on January 5, 1066, left the English throne without a clear successor, as he died childless. This lack of a direct heir set off a scramble for power, with multiple claimants to the throne emerging. Harold Godwin's son, the powerful Earl of Wessex, was quickly crowned king by the English nobility, largely because of his influence and standing within the kingdom. However, his claim was contested by William, Duke of Normandy, who argued that Edward had promised him the throne years earlier. Additionally, Harald Hardrada, the King of Norway, also claimed the English throne, believing it to be his right through a previous agreement with an earlier English king, Harthacnut. The stage was set for a conflict that would determine the future of England. While William prepared his forces for an invasion from Normandy, Harold faced an immediate threat from Harald Hardrada, who had invaded England in September 1066. The Norwegian king allied with Tostig, Harold's estranged brother, and landed with a substantial force in the north of England. Harold responded swiftly, marching his army northward and defeating the Norwegians at the Battle of Stamford Bridge on September 25, 1066. This victory, while decisive, came at a cost. Harold's army was exhausted, and he had to march his troops rapidly back south upon learning of William's invasion. William had assembled a formidable force composed of Normans, Bretons, Flemish, and men from other parts of France. He landed at Pevensey on the southern coast of England on September 28, 1066, and immediately began constructing a wooden fort to secure his position. The Normans then advanced to Hastings, where they awaited Harold's arrival. Harold, after his long march from the north, arrived near Hastings on October 13, 1066. Despite the fatigue of his troops, Harold decided to engage William's forces immediately rather than wait for reinforcements or rest. The battlefield was located near the town of Hastings, on a ridge known as Senlac Hill. Harold positioned his forces atop the ridge, forming a shield wall, a defensive tactic that had proven effective in previous battles. The English army, composed mostly of infantry with a corps of housecarls, professional soldiers, and a larger contingent of the FYRD militia, lacked significant cavalry or archers, which would prove to be a disadvantage against the Normans. The battle commenced at dawn on October 14, 1066. William arranged his troops into three groups: the Normans on the left, the Bretons on the right, and a mix of French and Flemish troops in the center. The battle began with a barrage of arrows from the Norman archers, followed by an infantry advance. The English shield wall held firm against these initial attacks, repelling the Norman forces and causing heavy casualties. The Normans' cavalry, a key component to their military strategy, was unable to break through the dense shield wall. The battle raged on for several hours, with both sides enduring heavy losses. William's forces repeatedly attacked the English lines, but the shield wall proved resilient. The turning point of the battle came through a combination of strategic maneuvering and battlefield deception. According to some accounts, a portion of the Norman forces feigned a retreat, luring segments of the English army into pursuit. This maneuver broke the cohesion of the shield wall, allowing the Normans to exploit the gaps and attack the English from the flanks. William's leadership was crucial during this phase of the battle. At one point, rumors spread among the Normans that William had been killed, causing panic and retreat. William quickly rode through the ranks, lifting his helmet to show his face and rallying his troops by demonstrating that he was still alive. His presence and charisma helped to stabilize his forces and renew their resolve to fight. As the day wore on, the battle turned increasingly in favor of the Normans. The English, exhausted from their previous engagements and the long march, struggled to maintain their defensive positions. Late in the afternoon, a pivotal moment occurred when King Harold II was struck in the eye by an arrow, according to the Bayeux Tapestry and other sources, although some historians suggest he was killed by Norman knights in hand-to-hand combat. Harold's death was a devastating blow to the English army's morale and command structure. Without their leader, the English forces began to disintegrate and retreat. The Normans seized the opportunity to press their advantage, launching a final assault that broke the remaining English resistance. As night fell, the battlefield was littered with the bodies of the fallen. The Normans had won a decisive victory, and the path to William's coronation as King of England was now clear. In the aftermath of the Battle of Hastings, William moved swiftly to consolidate his control over England. He marched to London, facing sporadic resistance along the way, and was crowned king on December 25, 1066, at Westminster Abbey. His victory at Hastings marked the beginning of a new era in English history, characterized by Norman rule and significant cultural and political changes. The Norman conquest brought about profound transformations in England. The Anglo-Saxon elite was largely replaced by Norman nobility, and the feudal system was introduced, reshaping the social and economic landscape. The English language and culture were heavily influenced by Norman French, leading to a fusion of traditions that would eventually give rise to the modern English language. The architecture of England also changed dramatically, with the construction of numerous castles, cathedrals, and fortifications, such as the Tower of London, which symbolized Norman power and dominance. The Battle of Hastings has remained a pivotal event in British history, remembered not only for its military significance, but also for its lasting impact on the identity and development of England. It is commemorated in various forms, most notably in the Bayeux Tapestry, an extraordinary embroidered cloth that depicts the events leading up to the battle and the battle itself in vivid detail. This artifact provides valuable insights into the arms, armor, and tactics of the time, as well as the perspectives of the victors. The legacy of the Battle of Hastings extends beyond the immediate historical consequences. It set a precedent for future conflicts and succession crises in England, highlighting the vulnerability of the kingdom to foreign invasion and internal strife. The battle also underscored the importance of leadership, strategy, and adaptability in warfare, lessons that have resonated through subsequent military history. Today, the site of the Battle of Hastings is preserved as Battle Abbey, a place of historical and cultural significance. Visitors to the site can explore the battlefield and learn about the events of 1066 through exhibitions and guided tours. The battle's anniversary is marked by reenactments and educational programs, ensuring that the story of this momentous conflict continues to be told and remembered. The Battle of Hastings remains a defining moment in the history of England, a turning point that reshaped the nation's trajectory and laid the foundations for the medieval English state. Its impact is still felt today, echoing through the centuries as a testament to the enduring influence of one of history's most significant battles.